Hello, and welcome to the final episode of the Project H series for this year. I was planning on doing this video months and months ago before I went to the UK, but due to time constraints I've ended up doing it now. But for our final video, we're going to introduce one new product that we got recently. We're going to show you how to use that. And we're just going to take a bit of a look over the journey that the Hilux has taken from when we bought it around about this time last year to how it stands today. So the product, which is just recently came to my attention, I didn't even know this existed if I'm honest with you, is the products from Lifesaver. Now, again, like me, you're probably not aware of them, but they do amazing work in disaster zones such as Syria and places like that, where the actual water supply is more dangerous than the war zones itself. So these little gadgets here, this is just one of their product range, gets shipped all around the world, all these different disaster zones, which makes it ideal if you're going away to a place where the water source is not going to be on the good side. This is a added backup, and basically what it does is, like I said, there's several different products everywhere from a little tiny bottle all the way up to a 20-litre jerry can, but basically stores and filters water to make it safe for you to drink. Everything from debris right down to microbiological parasites, etc. I've gone with the Cube, which is I think 5 litres. I think it says 5 litres, yeah. 5 litre Cube. Again, like I said, you can get little personal bottles which are just exactly the same size as your sports bottle, up to a NATO size 20 litre jerry can, which ironically holds 18.5 litres of water, but it's the same outside dimensions that will fit in your jerry can holder. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because it's not as straightforward as sticking water in it on your first go from a questionable source and drinking it. There is a bit of a setup to go through, so I'm going to quickly take you through that. To prime the filter, we must first activate the membranes inside. To do this, we need to film the container through the pump hole to the very top. Replace the pump and leave for around 10 minutes. Once 10 minutes is up, empty the container through the pump hole. Then fill back up with fresh, clean water. This time we're going to pump it 20 to 30 times and open the tap. This forces the membrane to expand and flushes out the storage chemicals. To encourage water flow, tip the container onto its side with the tap at the lowest point. Leave the water drain through the tap, periodically checking and pumping to maintain flow. Once the water level gets below an inch, stop flow. Remove the tap head and insert the included carbon filter, although this can wait until you actually require the filtration system. At this point, you can take out the old water, fill with whatever water you can find, and start to filtrate water safely. So, once you've completed all them steps, this Lifesaver Cube, and the same will go for the jerry can sized one as well, is ready to filter any kind of water source that you find into pure drinking water. A couple of tips and tricks that I've been picking up as I've been reading up on this. As a must, when you store this for a long period of time, because obviously you're not going to be using this all the time, you need to keep at least an inch of water in the cube at all times. Again, same for the jerry can. That keeps the filter system damp and leaves the pores open. If there's no water in it, eventually the membrane will dry out and close up, and you'll have to replace the filter and do the priming process all over again. After the priming process, if you don't need it straight away, you're preparing this for a trip, you're not actually on a trip needing to filter water at this present time, they do recommend keeping water in it for 24 or to 48 hours to try and get that membrane to open up a bit more to improve the water flow. So fill it right back up to the top again, leave it in a cool, dark place away from any heat sources, and after that empty the water out of the filler pump there, and then you can start using it again. You should see a noticeable increase in the water flow there. Again, when storing it, make sure there's no pressure in the system. The way to do that is to undo it a quarter of a turn and wait until the hissing sound has stopped, and then you can do it back up again. Apparently these filters, I haven't tested it myself, but they're good for 100 litres, which is roughly a month if you use 3 litres of water per day, every day, for a month. That's how long these filters will last. Obviously, if you're only using it every now and again, as long as there's decent water pressure without having to pump excessively, then the filter will be fine. If it does stop pumping, or the water flow starts to drastically reduce, it usually means that your filter's either expired or it's dried up, and it won't actually let you pump any water out to stop you thinking that it's pure water coming out there when it isn't. So that's when you know you need to change the filter there. But under first impressions, I'm actually really impressed with it. It's rock hard plastic. It's not cheap and brittle like you see some of these filtration systems can be. It is designed to take a knock, which is great if it's rolling around in the back of your overland vehicle, for example. Like I said, these exact same units are used in disaster war zones and stuff, so they are designed to take a beating and to be very simple to use as well. Just a couple of pumps and you'll have fresh water coming out there. Simple. So that's the last video in 2015's Project H series. We will be having a series in 2016, which will be starting early January, just like the original one did. I don't want to give too much away, but the new series is going to include a lot more custom fabrication work rather than bolt-on bits, as we've kind of reached the point where we've bought all the bolt-on accessories we will need, and it's mainly custom fabrication parts and stuff that obviously I can do myself. So I'll be showing you through them, showing you some hints and tricks and some skills involved in that, as well as a few products even every now and again. So to end it, I will leave you with a short video on the Harvest's progress. See you next year.